The laws of this land don't allow us to throw phones at hotel clerks.
Rise and rise again, until lambs become lions.
Okay, so honestly, Russell Crowe is one of my favorite actors, and I do mean no disrespect with the phone jokes. It's just such an easy target, and I really don't think that should be held over his head forever. I mean, everybody makes mistakes under the pressure, yada yada. Robin Hood. I have been very, very excited for this movie. With LA Confidential, Gladiator, A Beautiful Mind, The Insider, The Cinderella Man, State of Play, 3:10 to Yuma, and American Gangster, Russell Crowe has one hell of a resume. In fact, LA Confidential and Gladiator are both in my top 30 favorite movies of all time. And who can forget Ridley Scott's classics, Alien and Blade Runner? One large complaint from the community about this movie is that it's too similar to the likes of Gladiator and Braveheart. I rebuttal with those two are both amazing films, but in actuality, their stories are derived from the original premise of the Robin Hood character. How can they not be similar? My review is going to be different than a lot of other people with the mixed reviews, because I actually really enjoyed this movie. Okay, so it's nothing amazing, but it is good. Ridley Scott has a fantastic eye for creating amazing setup for his films. His immensely detailed set pieces and visuals are masterfully entwined with the plot. You get an overall result of fantastic storytelling and visual awe. This movie's just all out beautiful to stare at. The knit-grit visuals only enhance what a real Robin Hood type situation would be like in that time period. The dialogue in this movie is pretty good, and while the story isn't anything we haven't seen before, it's done with a nice charm. This attached with stellar performances makes scenes that are both emotionally and dramatically effective. Russell Crowe and Cate Blanchett give fantastic performances that give true life to the legendary characters. While I do feel that Russell Crowe was holding back a little bit, never really reached the full power that he had with his Maximus character. The supporting cast is not to be forgotten as they all do great work, and Mark Strong continues his streak of playing a great villain with Sherlock Holmes and Kick-Ass already under his belt. And Oscar Isaac does play a very good King John. I'd say that the Robin Hood backstory was well developed, but they could have added a little bit more and taken out on some unnecessary things. Because there are some scenes of long, drawn-out dialogue that really just do nothing. This movie does drag for long periods of time, and while I was never completely uninterested, they do push a lot of things just to happen at the end. Most of the actual story elements in the trailer take place within the last 30 to 20 minutes of the movie. Now I realize this is supposed to be a setup for possible sequels, and they do leave it open, but, I mean, they do leave everything till the end of this movie, outlining him and everything. I mean, the epic battle scene at the end will not disappoint, but it really feels like this movie made an epic setup, but completely dropped it off the end just so they could have a sequel. Now, the huge climax that you see in the trailer is so much fun to watch, and you do get into it, and there were points in the theater where the entire audience started clapping, and Russell Crowe plays a believable and honest, genuine hero. This movie just tries to do too much. It's trying to tell this epic tale, but then it just feels like there's large sections missing. I mean, it sets up for a lot of things, but the script just doesn't support that. That's not what it set out to do. It set out to tell the origin story of Robin Hood, but yet it tries to just take it as a complete setup for what Robin Hood becomes instead of how he got there. It has so many ambitions that just aren't supported by its source material. So overall, I do like this movie. It does have its flaws, and I know some will disagree, but I do recommend you see this movie for me personally. This movie is slightly different and slightly better than your average action. I mean, I was surprised at how talky it was, because it seemed like it would be one of Scott's more straightforward action movies. Robin Hood really shows Ridley Scott's masterful work with period pieces and really gets your adrenaline going. Strong performances, pretty good dialogue, this movie does achieve both emotionally and visually. While it does have its flaws, A lot of them are clouded out by the qualities, so overall, it just makes Robin Hood very fun. I have to say, I will like to see a sequel because there are a lot of things that they can improve upon. For instance, as I did enjoy the large fight sequences, there are a lot of stealthy archer scenes in the woods that were fantastic. Although, at the climax, I would kind of like to see Russell Crowe take down Godfrey with a phone. Damn it, I can't stop making the jokes. But seriously, picture this. Come on! I'll give this movie a solid 7.5 out of 10.
King does not bargain for the loyalty that every subject owes him. In the name of King John, pay or burn.
Throw and throw again, till hotel clerks become responsive.